All right, the training we're going to go through today is going to be about your effective hourly rate. Knowing where your time is spent is critical to building a scalable and profitable venture and prioritizing what matters most to you. So it's really important that we talk about what we call the EHR. Your effective hourly rate is the amount that you earn for the amount you spend time operating your business. So this will include the value that you add to your clients, marketing your service, operations, any team management, and email communication. You'd be surprised, but most entrepreneurs don't know how many hours they work, where their time goes, and so they can't calculate their ETR. And that's going to lead to a lot of loss in productivity. You might have heard the quote that entrepreneurs are willing to work 80 hours a week in order to avoid working 40 hours a week for someone else. But this can quickly lead to some dangers. Say you're trying to replace your 100K a year annual salary. If you're honest with yourself, you're probably putting in 50-hour weeks. And so we can calculate your effective hourly earnings to be $40 an hour. But if you want to earn that working for yourself and you adopt the mindset that you can work twice as much, 100-hour weeks even, then your effective hourly rate drops down to about $20 an hour, which you can earn almost anywhere. So why are you working for yourself? And you might argue the fact that, well, you're working from home, so you get the freedom. But are you really at home if you're not being present with your family, if you don't know where your time's going and you're anxious and overwhelmed and stressed or even bored, not knowing what to do next? Then I can't really say that you're being present and you're not really enjoying your newfound freedom. So effective hourly rate, it's easy to calculate for a salaried position. We just divide your salary by the hours you work. And for freelancers, it's a little more tricky. It's not your hourly rate. You have to take into account things like marketing and operations, if you have travel to and from clients, things like that. But at least that's something tangible. Most of us, though, as consultants, have no fucking idea what our hourly effective rate is. And if you want to work 20 to 25-hour weeks, which is the case for a lot of the entrepreneurs that I work with, then you actually have to have an effective hourly rate of close to $80 to $100 an hour. That's right. And it doesn't reflect the hourly rate that you charge your clients. So how are you going to up your time to $100 an hour, even if you're not interfacing with clients during that time? You have to do marketing and client fulfillment and operations communications. And that's going to eat away at your efficiency. You have to be both effective and efficient in order to get these kind of rates. And to do that, you need a team. And so I'm actually going to say that for our example, 100K a year is too low. For us to be able to do what we need to do to run our business without hating our lives, without doing the things that we're not good at, we're going to need a team. And the thing is, the allure of the online business is that you work from home by yourself and you keep most of the profit. And for the most part, that's true. As you start off as a consultant, it's not unreasonable to keep 80, 90% of what you earn, taxes aside. But as you scale, those profit margins are unrealistic. Because to keep your effective hourly rate high, you're going to have to focus on your zone of genius and really protect what you spend your time on. And so that's why I encourage that most of my clients actually aim for having a minimum of 20K per month. And this means you have to have 5x your effective hourly rate in order to get this return on investment. You have to earn at least $200 an hour, even when you're not interfacing with clients. And that's a minimum. If you want to build a scaling business, I actually recommend that you aim for $40,000 a month or more. And if you're an ambitious entrepreneur, earning those low six figures after all the effort of working for yourself, it's just not enough. And for those of you who care more about impact over revenue, then staying small is just not an option. You need to scale to thrive. So how do you increase your effective hourly rate? Your life is going to change if you bring in more than $1,000 an hour. And it did so for me. So when I was able to do this in my business, I was able to spend more time on my Systemized CEO program, less time in my agency as I started to realize that it was a limiting business model. And I could end each day feeling peace of mind, knowing that I had done my best and that I'd been both effective and productive during my day. I was able to keep my days shorter. Ending my days early, I was able to go swimming, biking in my neighborhood, get to experience more of the life that I actually love and with the people that I love. So I was able to send my brother on vacation. He went to Hawaii for a couple of weeks, really enjoyed it. Able to take care of my dad's health. He's out in Ireland and I like to keep an eye on him. I was able to retire my partner who now works from home at whatever he pleases to do. And we spend hours diving into niche interests, developing new skills, and that consequently has built up my confidence and increased my earning potential again. So what are the benefits of increasing your hourly effective rate besides the obvious, earning more per hour? Well, you actually get to experience the freedom and joys of being able to work from home, like being present with your family and friends. You get to be able to scale a business without risking burnout, which a lot of entrepreneurs really struggle with. In the beginning, a business is its CEO, and if you burn out, your business is gone. So you can also start additional ventures, diversifying your sources of income. You're able to invest more in personal projects. You want to run a marathon, something like that. And this is what I was able to do, starting a second business while continuing to run an agency that didn't need as much oversight. And other benefits might include, if you're the type of person who hates inefficiency in your workflow, then removing those $10 to $25 an hour tasks or just eating away at your time, it's going to just be really satisfying on a fundamental level. And those things just accidentally fill up your schedule unless you're really intentional. And doing so, you can hire a more talented team, offer better services to your clients. You'll get more customer successes and better testimonials, ultimately increasing your revenue. So the answer then is to delegate, right? But I actually warn you that that's not the first step. The first step before you delegate is look at your personal productivity. So before you hire, you need to master yourself. You can't scale a business with massive leaks in time and money, and the biggest ones are going to come from yourself. You have to be aware of your metrics and your numbers, and that's why we're talking about calculating effective hourly rate in the first place. Increasing your personal productivity is the fastest way to increase how much you earn per hour. And doing so will help you scale your offer, increasing your profit margin so you can afford to hire support. So let's just think about this logically. You can't afford, it's risky to hire somebody who's way more expensive than what you bring in per hour. So you can't hire a $100 an hour developer if your effective hourly rate is closer to $20 or $40 an hour. It just doesn't make sense, and it's risky. So the takeaway is it's dangerous not to know where your time goes as an entrepreneur. And I want you to ask yourself these questions. Do you know where your time goes and how much you earn? I really hope so. You need to keep an eye on those numbers. Which of your activities are significantly reducing how much you earn per hour? So what are those $10 an hour tasks? Is it checking your email? Is it designing some graphic when you're not a graphic designer? Notice that most of these aren't going to be in your zone of genius. What you do best at, you're probably going to get the most returns on investment for. And so what can you do to increase your personal productivity? As we said, that's going to be the fastest way to increase your rate before you actually increase your expenses. And do you have a high enough effective hourly rate to hire supporting staff? If not, what can you eliminate and automate first in order to raise your rate so then you can bring on your supporting team, whether it's a VA or a specialist? And I recommend specialists. And are you willing to lower your profit margins? This is a big one because this is going to have a gut reaction for you. Are you willing to lower your profit margins to build a thriving business that scales and returns more for your efforts? So are you willing to say, bring in 50% of the profits and 50% as business expenses in order to actually build a business where you're doing what you love, you're earning more per hour, and you're better at what you do? And that's going to be a tough one for a lot of us who are addicted to being solopreneurs and in charge of the whole thing. So I hope that really helped you think about how are you spending your time, how are you spending your money, and are you really optimized to get the most out of your workday? And I'd like to think about that because I want to help you scale your impact to serve more people and really enjoy the life that you're living. So think about that and let me know if you have any questions.